boys and girls. My name's Quinn the Questioner. Join me here each week with my box of clues while we travel back in time and learn about God and the Bible. They're worshiping to false gods. I need to look and see if there's a clue for this, because I know that's not right. I think I need to go and get Daniel to help me interpret this. So what does it mean?
I know exactly what this means.
Many years passed, and Daniel, now an older man, was still in service to the kingdom of Babylon, when a new king, Belshazzar, came into power. King Belshazzar decided to host a great banquet for thousands of his leaders. During the feast, King Belshazzar had his servants bring out the gold and silver goblets that his father, King Nebuchadnezzar, had taken from the temple in Jerusalem. As the king and his nobles drank from these sacred goblets, they praised false gods. Suddenly, a human hand appeared, and one finger began to write on the wall right in front of everyone at the feast. As King Belshazzar watched, he began to shake in fear. The king called for his wise men and said, "Whoever reads this writing and tells me what it means, I will give them riches and power." But the wise men could not read the writing or tell the king what it meant. This made the king even more terrified. Hearing the commotion, the queen came into the banquet hall and said, "Don't be alarmed. There is a man who can help you. He was trusted by King Nebuchadnezzar because of his great insight and wisdom. So much so that Nebuchadnezzar put him in charge of all of Babylon's wise men. His name is Daniel, and if you bring him here, he will be able to tell you what this writing means." When Daniel appeared before King Belshazzar, the king told him, "None of my wise men can read the writing on the wall and tell me what it means. But if you can, I will give you riches and honor beyond your wildest dreams." Daniel answered the king, "You can keep your gifts and give them to someone else, but I will still read the writing for you and tell you what it means." Daniel told King Belshazzar, "God gave your predecessor, King Nebuchadnezzar, absolute power, glory, and splendor. Because of this, all the nations of the earth feared him. He did as he pleased to help or hurt anyone he chose. But Nebuchadnezzar became proud and arrogant, so God stripped him of his throne and his power. Only after this did King Nebuchadnezzar acknowledge that God alone is king over all the earth. But you, King Belshazzar," Daniel continued, "have not humbled yourself, even though you knew all of this. Instead, you have become proud and honored yourself above God. When you brought out the goblets from God's temple, you drank from them and praised false gods who cannot see or hear or understand. In all of this, you did not honor God or his hand in your life. Because of this, God sent the hand and wrote the inscription." "My king," Daniel said, "this the inscription says, Mene, Mene, Tekel, Parsin." Mene means numbered. God has numbered your days and brought them to an end. Tekel means weighed. You have been weighed on the scales, and you have been found wanting. Parsin means divided. Your kingdom is divided, and will be given to the Medes and Persians. Just as the king had promised, Daniel was dressed in wealth. That very night, King Belshazzar was killed, and his kingdom was given over to another ruler.
So what did that video mean?
Well, the king was focusing a lot on his stuff and what he had and his own talents, and he didn't really understand or realize that all of those things came from God. So God had to teach him a lesson,
We just need to rely on God.
and we need to be thankful
That's
for the
right.
things that he gives us, like our talents, our clothes, our parents,
I love my
our
parents.
jobs. All of those things come from God.
All right, so today your Bible story was in Daniel 5, and it talked about how God wrote on the wall. And it's a famous story talking about the writing on the wall. So here's a cool little experiment you can do at home. All you need is a plate, dry erase marker, and it can be any color, and some water. So what I've done is I've written what God wrote on the wall, and now I'm going to pour water on it, and I want you to watch what happens. Look at that. And at home, you can try different colors. And see, I used black, but you can use green or red or blue, and see if that does anything different when you pour water on it. Have fun.
That was another great lesson. Don't forget to join in next week and see where we travel to.